As a parent, are you tired of watching your child battle constant illness? Do you feel that they catch every little bug that goes around? Maybe you feel stuck in the cycle of doctor visit, antibiotics, sleepless night, and you don't know how to break free. As a parent myself, I can relate. It's no fun to see my little guy struggle. And I want you to know that you're not alone either. 40% of school age children actually deal with some sort of chronic health issue, whether it is constantly being congested, chronically being sick, having ear infections, asthma, allergies, autoimmune issues. The cycle of sick that gets stuck in our children can be frustrating. And if you're watching this video, odds are you've tried a lot. Maybe you have gone the medical route and you're tired of just another medication that doesn't feel like it's getting to the root of things. Maybe you've gone the holistic or natural route and you said, hey, we've cleaned up our diet. We're taking our vitamin D and our zinc. We're trying homeopathics or essential oils. We've done a detox. And it feels like it's working if we do it all perfectly. But the first time my child doesn't sleep well, or they've got a big day at school, or we travel, it kind of breaks down again. If that's the case, it also feels frustrating because it feels like you're doing all the right things without an answer. So in this video, I want to share with you what we find in our office to be the common missing link to really get a child's immune system back on track when you've tried it all. And that link has to do with the nervous system. I've been in practice since 2007, and what I've found over and over again with the families that we work with is there's a lot of good information out there about how to be naturally healthy, but there's not a lot of good information about how the nervous system is at the core of good health. In this video, I want to dive into a specific part of the nervous system and a specific nerve. It's called the vagus nerve. Now, this nerve, it's also called the wandering nerve, is something that we see is one of the keys for regulating the nervous system and specifically the immune system. So the vagus nerve is a nerve that comes from the brainstem at the very top of the neck, and it's called the wandering nerve because it goes from here. It's this nerve in sort of a teal greenish blue color. It goes to your heart. It goes to your lungs, so it regulates heart rate and breathing. It goes to your stomach. It goes to your liver and your spleen, so it helps with detoxing and immune function there. It also goes down to your intestine for digestion, and we know that a lot of our immune system is in our intestine. So it's critical for activating a lot of functions in the body. And one of the keys that it does for the immune system is it actually acts as a signal and response system. It's reading what's happening in the body and it's taking that information, bringing it into the brain to tell the brain what to do about it. What we see commonly in kiddos who struggle with chronic immune challenges is that their vagus nerve has been taxed. It's been worn out. It starts to get offline and stuck in stress mode. As a result, what should be regulating and helping the immune system respond is actually not able to do its job anymore. So imagine if you go into your bedroom and you see the light isn't on. So you unscrew the light bulb, you put a new one in, still doesn't go on. You unscrew it, you try another, still doesn't go on. You say, it's probably not that the light bulb's burnt out. It's probably that the circuit's blown. So this is what we see often in kiddos where you're trying all the right things. You're doing the vitamins. I think they're getting a good night's sleep. I'm trying to give them healthy foods and it doesn't make a difference. It's often because the circuit's blown. In this case, that circuit is the vagus nerve. That's the master control switch to help everything get back online. Now, clues for your child that the vagus nerve might be at fault include other functions of the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve, not only does it help regulate immune system, but it helps with digestion. So if you find your kiddos constantly constipated or it feels like they just don't digest food the way you think they should, vagus nerve could be at play. Vagus nerve helps regulate sleep. So if they don't fall asleep easy or they get up a lot throughout the night, vagus nerve could be the contributing factor. And lastly, because the vagus nerve acts as a brake pedal to calm us down from stress, it acts as a huge regulator of mood. So if your child feels dysregulated, If they feel moody, maybe anxious, nervous, again, we're going to look to the vagus nerve to see if that is one of the core issues. What happens is when the vagus nerve is working properly, it's activating all these organs to go into healing mode because it acts as a brake pedal to bring us down from stress. And what we're looking for is over time, is the vagus nerve offline, impacting one of two things. We'll see, one, that the immune system might start to, in a sense, wear out and your child's immune system becomes under responsive. That means that a cold just comes and it sits there, or they're battling constant ear infections. They're getting sick all the time because it feels like the crud comes at them and it doesn't have anywhere to go because their immune system isn't active to clear it out. So if that's the case and your child's battling a chronic issue, we often see an immune system that needs to get ramped up and get a little more oomph behind it. The other thing we'll see is if your kiddo's battling something like allergies or autoimmune issues, it's actually an immune system that's gone a little haywire and it's becoming over responsive. It's seeing everything as a threat. Ultimately, what we want to do is bring the immune system back into balance. How we look for that challenge in your kiddo is we have two different scans that we find are the most critical for assessing the vagus nerve and as a result, assessing if it's able to do its job in the body. The first scan here, this is a heart rate variability scan. And ultimately, this little white dot we want to see in the green. If it's out of the green, if it's shifted to the left or to the right, if it's shifted too far down, those give us clues that the vagus nerve has been taxed and it's working too hard. The second scan we're looking for is this thermal scan. And all of these scans we do in our office, very safe, very gentle, nothing goes in the body, there's no x-ray or radiation. But ultimately, with this scan, if we see a lot of color at the very top, as I mentioned, the vagus nerve comes from the brainstem. If we see extra areas of color here, green, blue, or in this person's case, red, that lets us know mild, moderate, or significant stress on that area of the nervous system. So if that's showing up here, we can assess and see if it's something that we can help with to get your kiddo back on track. In the case of this area of the nervous system getting thrown off track, we often see something like birth trauma, C-section, forceps suction, maybe being stuck in the birth canal, having to be induced and baby wasn't ready and things don't go as smoothly as planned. And even as a relatively smooth birth, it's still a lot of pressure to push baby through. So that's where we see things start. And then if a baby's nervous system is thrown off early on, that stress pattern can stay stuck. So you might see your kiddo was colicky or had a lot of reflux, or they didn't quite settle down. We had a 3-month-old come in recently who was just stuck and rigid when mom was trying to hold her. Her nervous system didn't have the ability to really settle down. If your child got stuck then with early rounds of antibiotics, that of course drains the immune system and allows stress to stay revved up in the body. So these are some of the things we're looking for to see if in fact the vagus nerve is a contributing factor to your child's immune challenges. If we find that, our safe, gentle, neurological based adjusting helps get your child's nervous system back on track so they can really start to thrive again. And that's what we love working with in our office, is helping you as a parent understand why your child is struggling and then helping them get back on track so you can feel that sense of relief, that sense of hope that things are going to be okay. So if that resonates, reach out, shoot us a message, give us a call. If you have any questions, we're happy to chat. Or if you want to get your child's scans done to see if in fact that's what's going on, we're here for you.